astrology, and really covering the collective consciousness for your ascension symptoms. Now I'm going to pull a chakra card for your zodiac, and I'm going to tune into the energy. Scorpio, you guys may have been extremely busy. You also may have really protect your throat chakra at the moment. Because you also may emotionally have themes come up. Now, the themes that can be coming up at the moment can be, they can be emotions, it can be health, it can be triggers. It is going to subside, but you're finding with the Mercury retrograde and the 2 eclipses that we had, and then the full moon in Capricorn, it has been pretty hectic on our auric field. Now, we are going to be having the new moon in Cancer on the 10th. Yeah. Third eye. And you may feel as though you really have to trust your intuition at the moment. And that does make perfect sense. Now, I do feel there's a lot of plans that you guys have. And you can be really, planning your future moving forward, but also feeling, again, that you're not wanting to base something on a falsity. I do feel the falsity energy can be you are really not knowing how to deal with some circumstances, but you could potentially, for some of you, just be really going with the flow. I also feel there could be a subject relating to somebody that you haven't spoken to, but also not wanting to really share anything with people. It can be superstitious. It can be almost, poker face energy, braving it, faking it till you make it. And I do feel you're just really trying to make sense of these things that are coming up in your life. Now, I feel as though there is somebody in your mind that you want to speak to, but you don't know whether now is the right time. I also feel it may be, again, I feel you're being very selective about who you're saying things to and how you're tackling things. You could be really micromanaging and mincing your words, and this could be with the circumstance. But at the same time, some of you are wanting that healing to come, but you could be getting a little bit disillusioned as to, is that even possible? But I feel this innate privacy coming through of hidden energy. Now, this can be a shadow within yourself, or it could be merely you are intuitively guided to keep something a secret until the change comes about, until you have clarity as to what to do. But I feel the secretive energy coming through. I do feel there's a lot in the mix of what you do want to change. This can be mind, body, soul, and the 3D. But I feel automatically it's that I don't feel necessarily it's that you don't know. I feel it's you're keeping it private. You're keeping it under lock and key at the moment. Lock and key, where you may have these hunches, you may have these bright ideas. This is a really great time to journal and write these ideas down. And definitely we could be having very broken sleep at the moment. It will subside and pass as we move into the month of July. And really moving into mid-month, we're guided to really pay attention to our health, our well-being. Now, some of you may be digging deep and actually looking at such. It could be that you're looking at your health and your well-being and how environments and circumstances are impacting it. And also, this can be an extremely fertile time for creativity. So for you, this can be looking at wanting to have more life balance, wanting to have more peace, being selective of your friendship groups and the pastimes of what you're doing. But you also could have emotions through your auric field that can cause things to do with your childhood to come up and directly affect you. Now, this can be emotional eating, drinking, you name it, it can come up, but we are guided to get into light body experience. And if these triggers are coming up, really pause and sit with it and say, okay, is this an old pattern? Now, some of us are going to experience in the next 2 weeks old patterns resurfacing. Most of us were experiencing that in June as we were moving out of it. And as we move forward, we're in acknowledgement and wisdom of these old patterns, but we're breaking them to move forward. Now, the Abraham Hicks card that you have, oh boy, okay, it's in reverse. I have complete control over my own thoughts. Again, it is lineage and it's conditioning. And it's health, okay? Because it's 6, which is 6-house placement. You can find yourself in an endless loop where you explain that you feel negative because of the negativity of someone else. But if instead you take control of your own emotions and you think an improved thought because it feels better to do so, you can turn it around. Now, some of those things can be out of our control, and we can be really looking and going, okay, is this a psychic attack? Is this through people's experiences? Is this through my conditioning? And yes, emotions can come up. So because you have certain placements at the moment, yes, emotional eating can come through. It can be our thought processes, our speech. It may come through, but it's a pattern that, yes, we can break, but some of this is merely just the astrological aspects. Our auric field has been pretty shocked from last month, which I'm speaking to like I'm in July. I'm recording this at the very end of June. So yes, June has been pretty intense. Now, I do feel some of you are looking at upskilling. Some of you are being super strict. And this, when I say upskilling, you're not wanting to sell yourself short. You're wanting to be the king and queen of your own domain. You're really wanting to turn your world around and take that accountability, but potentially there have been some circumstances that have really hindered that progress and it's made you second guess. I do feel some of you could just be on this rat race of doing the same thing, and it is becoming a little bit stagnant where you're getting a bit tired of that, and you're wanting, it's almost like you're wanting to taste the flavor of life. You want to, smell the roses, you want to feel the beauty, and you're just wanting to break this cycle. It's almost like, the frog coming along to kiss the princess and she's waking up. It feels you're wanting to break a cycle. But it's almost like you're embodying all of this and making these sacrifices at the moment, and you're feeling, by now I should have had some sense of success. Now, the ruin that you have is almost really linking into this. It does connect into Libra, which is justice and balance and fairness, and I do feel you really got it to take care of your health this month, especially as we move into mid-month where we're going to have a lot of Virgo aspects. Those Virgo aspects are relating to our health and our well-being, analytics, devil in the detail, it's higher heart chakra as well. So pay attention to the heart chakra activation this month. Now, the planet is Mars. Currently, it's in the house of Leo. So for you, that will connect to Scorpio. Let me have a look. Your career sector, okay? Which does make sense because the full moon in Capricorn, we were looking at our foundations, structure, stability, both within ourselves, within society, and within our own personal lives. Now, as we move to the new moon in Cancer, it's to do with those interconnections, the emotions that we have with these people. We could be speaking directly to other people really about our truth, but we need to be careful in the first 2 weeks that we may be coming from a pain body experience, from an emotion, potentially having tunnel vision when all of us collectively can't see over the clouds. The color is red, which is base chakra, foundation, home, right? And the element is air. Now, air is deeply intuitive and so is Scorpio, so use that to your advantage. Victory, honor, justice, law, balance, self-sacrifice, and righteousness. Esoteric, magical equilibrium, selflessness, spiritual purity. In reverse, which it's not, I feel you guys are moving out of that energy. Paralysis, lack of commitment, impotency. I feel, ultimately speaking, it's the logic that you're taking that you are, sometimes people don't do things that are right by us. That's a reality. Sometimes we feel we are moving in honor and integrity, and therefore, and I use this analogy on YouTube quite a bit. It's like if we're good, we theoretically feel that, if our parents have said, if you're good, I'm going to buy you a bag of lollies, then you don't get the lollies because mum or dad didn't have the coin. And then you go into the spiraling as, what is the logic behind me being correct and doing things, the correct way? So we could have this victim consciousness coming up this month where we feel, we're really trying to do our very best. There have been circumstances outside of our control where we haven't been able to really achieve some of those things, but you're really wanting some sense of balance. And there could be memories relating to people who have projected towards you and been unfair, not treated you with the respect and integrity you deserve, and you may be feeling that you really want justice. Now, these war wounds can be coming up for these circumstances to be addressed. The way I'm seeing it through the cards and intuitively, I feel some of you are trying to make a decision based on work. I also feel some of you are feeling you are quite happy to be at home. Some of you are feeling you would rather be at work. But I feel this juggling. Now it's like, now when I say juggling, it may be that you are looking at life at the moment through a particular lens where this is what society does, therefore that's what I have to do. And I'm really feeling, it's almost like you feel that you wanting these connections with people, but if people in the past have betrayed you, there may not initially be that complete trust there. And you are guided to follow your intuition. But I also feel that you could be quite frustrated that when you're having the courage to move forward and you're tackling these wounds and you're really addressing the 3D nature of your own personal world, it is becoming a little bit challenging. I feel through the process, you're very strict on yourself. The sacrifices you're making either for family, for your career sector, for love, I just feel you're trying to rationalize it at the moment. And it does frustrate you when you can see people, angels going in, really they should be fearing to tread in such a path. And this could be really frustrating you. I do feel for some of you, if you're in a connection and you have children, this can be your children. For others, it's the frustration that you're feeling you have to pick up all the pieces. There could be an imbalance at home. But overall, it could even just be the reflection of your past to where you are now. And you could be a little bit critical of yourself that you need to achieve something. But I feel this frustration. I feel it's almost like you're going to break this glass ceiling. But at the moment, you're just really, really reflective. I'm seeing a fight occurring with 3 individuals. Now, again, this could be a past tense event, but I'm physically seeing it like it's more future tense. This could be with a group of people, or it could be 3 direct individuals. Now, whoever these 3 individuals are, it actually changes the structure of your life. And I do feel this may have been an ongoing drama. And with these 3 individuals, it just feels you've been very patient for it to transform and resolve. This could be with one particular individual and it's 3 scenario ships, or it's directly 3 people. And I'm really seeing 3 people here. I do feel this dispute is happening in a kitchen. And I'm almost seeing you feeling quite overwhelmed and deeply feeling let down. And it's almost like you see them making it about themselves, but it's almost like a test isn't passed. Now, this is one of those weeks, to be perfectly honest, where we could really be moving into such. So we do need to be quite patient with individuals, but understand we could be coming from a place of wounds. We might be getting super frustrated. I do feel this course of this situation that does occur, it changes the way you're going to relate to it. But I really feel you've been there, done that, you've seen it. You just don't want this to continue to repeat. So I do feel you're shifting the energy back onto yourself and you're reflecting about what your plan is moving forward. I also see a document, and there's something that is very serious in nature that is inside a family. This could be inheritances, documentation, but there's some old situation coming up that needs addressing. Now, I do feel it requires other people's signatures. So this signature, it's almost like they're waiting on you to sign it. They're waiting on you to honor it. But I don't necessarily feel you're going to be as flexible as they're requiring you to be. And I feel it's almost like you're going in a different direction to what they anticipate you to do. Now, this also can be very separate. Your work and a scenario ship that's been playing out there and something comes to a head and you do a 360. But I do feel overall, Scorpio, you guys are going to really be the dark horse this month. I do feel you to be very intuitive, but you will fight for the correct thing, but you won't fight for the wrong thing. And this is in all facets of energies. You understand implicitly, right? You overstand. but you also have a lot of your own emotions going on, but you're also going to have the higher consciousness to be very practical and logical, but you will defend that of what you feel requires defending. I'm hearing you say enough is enough. This could cause a change in location. But it's really interesting. This month's energy psychically almost feels that within the first 2 weeks, it's really D-Day, and we are going to be making major decisions in our life. And I really do feel these are turning points for the next 6 months, but it's really going to be setting the tone as to where we're going and how we are directly emotionally going to tackle those circumstances. I do feel that this is a very pivotal time. And I feel the way you move forward can be completely different. Yeah. Very pivotal time. It's like you wanting peace. You're going to do all it takes to actually receive such. But you're taking a balanced approach. And I'm noticing it's almost like a temperature gauge on the card. It's like things are, time's are ticking. You've got 99 problems. But you're just going to be very reflective. I noticed that it's time for peace. So you're locating that way to give the balance to your life, but also to create that peace. And I just feel you're being very heart-centered. I feel as though you guys do see, both sides of the story. You also, with your map moving forward in your life, I do feel you see both ways the story can go. So you're having empathy and understanding, but it's almost like it's helping you detach from a circumstance that you shouldn't be dealing with right now. So whatever the circumstances, I feel it's actually put your life on hold. So by this moving, it's actually freeing your life to move forward, and it's giving you that brand new story. Yeah, so it's almost like you're needing to let it go. And that does really make sense because we do currently have Jupiter in Pisces. It'll be there until the 28th. So these intuitive psychic downloads we're having of how to re-navigate, it can be causing sleeplessness, but it's helping us understand what's going to work and what's not. What will be too heavy to carry, what will be too much of a burden and a responsibility, and how we can just shift things about. Sometimes that can be removing people, places, and things, or sometimes tower moments can occur to actually create solutions. I don't feel anything really negative here is happening. I feel it's happening for you. I also feel you're taking a more practical, logical approach to do with your responsibilities, that it doesn't have to be hard, and that's crazy to even say such. It's, can we do something in a more orderly fashion to get more success out of life? And I really feel you finding that this month. I also feel in love. It's almost not like these circumstances that have been sort of in the witch's cauldron at the moment are really pausing your momentum. And I feel no sooner do these things play out, love is really arriving and moving. And I feel it's coming in the most interesting of fashion. This could be that you are in the right place at the wrong time. Like, and that's how it's coming through. It's almost like, oh, I didn't expect to see you. Didn't expect to see you. Any questions? Some of you may be changing industries, but really read that contract. I do feel this is really going to benefit you. Some of you can land a job that is very balanced, but it's going to require a level of management. It feels a level of management. It doesn't necessarily mean that the environment is great, but you're going to have a real good backbone because it's backbreaking. What do I mean by that? It's one of those industries that requires stealth mode. But I feel this is actually creating it inside you. And if you are currently in an environment, be it it's work or home, it's actually pre-training you for the future. So, sometimes we can find ourselves in these predicaments and we think, why is this happening? This is really setting you up for success. It doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy and you should always do it, but it has showed you an element inside yourself, and it's really transformed and changed you into this new being. Now, I feel through that practical aspect of wisdom that is integrated inside you, it's going to come in handy moving forward. And I feel you're actually going to be quite surprised of what you're able to handle and how you can achieve this. There also could be an emergency situation that you're asked to tackle, and I do feel you'll tackle it with poise. And again, I am feeling you looking at changing your environment. It feels environmental consciousness. Yes. Looking after your health and well-being, because you feel you've sacrificed it. But this could be due to circumstances surrounding you. Now, whatever you're letting go, it's almost like it's giving you permission to have your best vibration life. And I do feel things are going to move quite rapidly and suddenly. And through that, you may, if you've been really trying to make something happen, it feels it's just no sooner do you have that acceptance, it does a 360 and it's shifting. Love and light. I will come back shortly and I will be doing Pisces, I think it's Pisces next. All these beeping and noises coming up on my phone. Excuse the sound effects, peoples. If you do want to book in, you can go to the link below. If anyone does want to ask a supercut question, you've got 2.5. Otherwise, I'm going to hit the road, Jack, and I will be back shortly for Pisces. And we will be doing more again tomorrow. I have really blocked off the last few days in the morning so I can come to you live. And after this, we may, after Pisces, we'll do an energy update. Probably around 10, depending on how quick I can be. You know? And the fades on the live's being a bit funky this morning. So who knows? Love and light.